This podcast was recorded in Melbourne, Australia, known by the traditional owners as Nam. We would like to acknowledge the Wurundjeri people of the Kulin Nation and pay our respects to their elders past, present, and emerging. We celebrate their resilience, their continuing culture, and acknowledge that their sovereignty was never ceded.
All you baddies, benders, and babes, and welcome back to the Book of War, an Avatar Legends real play. The story of 4 runaways seeking the Book of War in a world without the Avatar. My name is Jesse Thomas, and I play Minh, FANG, the Foundling. He, him, a repressed runaway lava bender who found a new home for themselves in the Northern Water Tribe while hiding from deadly family secrets. Hello.
Deadly family obligations, didn't you change it to?
Oh, yeah, all right. Yeah.
Interchangeable at this point, I think.
You all liked secrets, so I kept it. I changed it to obligations, and you're like, no, we liked secrets better.
Secrets
so I was like, okay.
Secrets is better.
And then I've done it since I changed it, and you've only now picked up on it?
No, I just assume you do it wrong all the time.
Great. My Minh fact for today is that Minh fact failed all his rolls yesterday or like last episode because he wasn't in combat, and when he's not in combat he's a failure. So, and I wasn't properly in combat, so that's why I was half in combat.
Yeah, you had one foot in the water testing it.
My own fault. Should have known. Moving on.
But hey, that dust stepping towards the end there, that was beautiful.
Oh, please.
That was literally a work of art.
That was awesome.
It was handed to me.
I think it was the Venus de Milo / the birth of Venus.
Okay,
That was the work of art.
all right. Hi, my name's Lucas. I play Tomo, he, him, the hammer, a combustion bender freed from his past demons and ready to unleash his full power to right all the many wrongs in this world and to protect his newfound family. Okay, I'm going to give you a special double fact today. Fact number 1, Lucas went to art school, so he should know he was referring to The Birth of Venus by Botticelli, not the Venus de Milo. Let's clear that up.
Right.
Fact number 2, it's a good thing that Tomo was dazed because he would insist on leaving no witnesses with all these little firebenders in their little boats in the water. So, lucky them.
Hello, my name is Georgie Hazel, and I play Nuro the Destined, they, she, he, a runaway from the strange and mystical foggy swamp, once a lone wanderer and now part of a pack. Nuro finds himself navigating a world more complex and mysterious than they ever knew. But every step they take forward, the shadow of the swamp grows bigger. And my Nuro fact is that my center is currently all the way to determination.
Oh my.
Uh-oh.
So I was looking at, because of that, I looked at the rules, and if I lose my balance one more time, I am officially stuck with determination as my only source of balance.
Right.
Yeah, it cuts you off completely from being able to go towards patience again.
Oh my.
Yeah, so that's interesting and something I'm keeping a very close eye on at the moment. But I guess Neuro's really determined.
Yeah.
Like the most determined they've ever been in their life.
I promise I won't abuse this piece of information at all this episode.
Hello, everybody. My name's Ted Darling, and I play Banji the Guardian, he, him, a runaway from the Fire Nation army who now fights to safeguard a future amidst the chaos of war, for the vulnerable, for his family, and maybe even for himself. Banji fact, I think that the display of Banji using a firework to summon Hikaru in the last episode was pretty cool, because it was like a moment they shared, and Banji had never seen a firework.
I didn't express it to Ted at the time, but inside I was secretly chuffed.
And I think that's how it's going to go from now on, whenever he needs to summon Hikaru for exfiltration.
Very cool imagery, especially up a hole in the ship, you know?
Yeah, he was ready for it. He was just right there.
Well, I thought I alluded to that by the fact that he hadn't gone back to the boat. He's just like, Banji's going to need me, for sure.
Disobeyed a direct order. Terrible soldier. You said he was a good soldier. Terrible soldier.
Well, it depends on who he's following.
Hello, my name is Ash. I am the Grandmaster of the White Lotus. I have a very, very simple Ash fact this time round. I kind of miss Goose Monkey. I've been listening to some of the older episodes again, and it's just like, those were the good old days, all of a year ago. But it seems so long ago and also not that far away. But Grandmaster, while it is a nice title, maybe I'll be okay with people calling me a goose monkey every now and again.
Good to know. I'll be sure to annoy the hell out of you.
With that said and done, Jesse, roll the music. So to quickly summarize the last 2 episodes, we've managed to simultaneously rescue a bunch of Northern Water Tribe soldiers. They're teenagers. But they have their heart in the right place in terms of trying to make the world a better place by getting rid of Fire Nation weapons. And that's exactly what they urged you to do last time, to invade a Fire Nation vessel of prototype variety, and you managed to sink it successfully with very little comeuppance, which honestly I was expecting something to go much more wrong than it did.
Yeah, same.
But you got in and out in a relatively covert fashion compared to other attempts to be covert. So I give you a big round of applause, everyone. That's for you. That's for you.
It's great when one of our team members is a ninja / walking bomb.
Yeah, that helps.
Yeah, it ticks a lot of boxes very quickly.
I can just picture the colonel on the thing. Tomo, Tomo, Tomo! But in all seriousness, we are resuming partway through the dawning of that day. You managed to sail out of range of any of the chaos that you managed to cause, heading towards Banji's home island. And you realize it's not going to take you very long to get there. Maybe 2 days. You're in pretty open waters at this point. You're on a pretty good trajectory, and you've got a little bit of time before you get there.
How much matcha does Tomo need to brew to clear his fatigues?
Oh, not matcha.
Oh.
But the problem is you don't have enough.
Oh.
Look, I'm certain you will regain some fatigue before you actually reach Caledon, but you are not there yet. So,
So, we're underway, and Dad, I mean, we're sailing into some very dangerous waters, and I don't know. You don't owe us anything, and I don't know what we're going to face there. I mean, is there somewhere we can drop you off, or?
I think that you're looking at the map as you're talking about this, and he says, honestly, no. Like, we're okay. We can stay below deck. We're used to keeping out of trouble, guys. We can do this. It's fine. It's, I know that it maybe seems like we're good at getting into trouble, but we're happy just to help. We don't need to eat much. That's a lie. That one is absolutely a lie. We don't need to eat much. We can keep our heads down, and we can just help maneuver. Our Chuo, he's not a bad captain, but he could use a little bit of help. And it's like, you do realize I am right here and can hear you. And he goes, I didn't realize you could speak. What? What is that?
Oh, yeah, look.
I thought it was just a very clever bird. What?
If you're going to be spending any time with us, you need to understand that a lot of weird things happen all the time.
Yeah. How much time did you spend with my dad?
Look, enough that I sort of expected that maybe you were hanging around with someone that could just explode. That was a shock. Not so much of a shock that
Hey,
I...
that sounds fake.
Don't think about it. He eats blasting jelly. Don't think about it. Second of all,
I mean, your dad claims that he can talk to, things like You can talk? Yeah, I can talk. I was trying to keep it on the down low.
You did a great job of that, didn't you, Arturo?
I got a whole day out of it. Let's face it, I did pretty good.
I think Banji and Nuro maybe like exchange like a bet.
Look, all you need to know, Dag, is that he's a spirit and he's annoying as all. He's so frustrating to deal with. Aren't you, Arturo?
I thought you were talking about your dad.
Huh? No, I was talking about you, buddy.
Oh, I mean, maybe. Depends who you speak to.
Yeah.
Arya liked me.
Yeah, that makes sense. I'm stuck down there a long time.
Who's Arya?
My grandmother.
Yeah, sure. Don't. All right. New rule: if you're gonna stay on the ship, don't ask many questions.
Look,
It's for your own good.
I appreciate that, but you can't say lots of weird stuff is going to happen and you're not allowed to ask questions about it. That you can't have it both ways.
Listen, man, you're a waterbender. Just go with the flow, okay?
I'm working on it. I still want to know.
But you're not gonna know. All right, that's the deal. If you want to stay here, you don't get to know.
Okay.
Great.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay. Anyways.
Does anyone want breakfast?
Oh, yes, please. I'm starving.
Great. Kitchen's that way. And Minh walks off.
Mark five conditions.
Gets him every
That was brutal.
Gets him every time.
I think Tomo's gonna follow Minh out.
Okay. Let's follow you two for a second. I think as Banji like checks
He's checking himself for burn.
checks for travel.
Hey, Minh, slow down.
What's up?
Are you okay?
Yeah. No,
You
fine.
seem a bit short with our new friends, who I thought you would enjoy seeing some old faces from your past.
Oh, it's just weird, isn't it? It's just strange. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. It's just weird. I was talking about my dad straight away. It's like, okay.
Did something happen with you and your dad? And
Oh, look, I don't know. Like, I saw him in a dream when we all had those dreams. But like the last time we left, he was kind of like, I don't know, weird to me. And like when I left and made it to Shimsum. So like, yeah, I don't know. I just find it strange. It's just.
out of all the waterbenders in all the world,
Yeah, right.
We find these guys.
We find these guys that like know me somehow, and then also know my dad. It's just like, is the world that small, or is Destiny just like really funny? And he like does air quotes.
I don't want to talk about the Cobra Fant in the room, but the Water Nation world is in fact getting smaller.
That's true.
Listen, I'm not gonna press or pry, but if you ever wanna, let this off your chest, let me know.
Well, back in the north, it's like all these people didn't really care that he existed, and then now all of a sudden they do, and it's like, well, why now? So I guess
we did rescue them, and we are also on a boat together, and they have nowhere else to go. It's understandable that they want to know more, and I think we're right to keep the book away from them. Look, at any point you think they're overstaying their welcome, I'm happy to back you up on that.
Look, I think they'll be useful to have around. It's fine. I just, I think we keep them here, but we don't have to tell them everything.
You're better with people than I am, Minh Fang. I'll follow your lead on this.
Okay.
As Minh Fang, you turn around to sort of leave, having hit the natural conclusion of this conversation. You walk to the front of the ship, and you're sort of looking out across the water. And you look down, and you realize you are currently holding the Book of War. Or at least the chapter that you have. Let's go back inside. Straight after Minh Fang has, we'll use the term casually stormed out.
Light stormed.
A light storm. He's drizzled out. I think that Dad looks at the two of them leave and goes, Man, he's always been a bit standoffish, but that, like, I don't remember him ever being this cool. What's that about?
You think he's cool?
Yeah, I mean, the way that he's managing to handle all these things that you've got going on, like, some people just can't keep a secret, and here he is trying to, like, keep it all under wraps and do what he needs to do, but he's also managing to hang out with a lot of you. You're all pretty amazing. I mean, you all rode that dragon so well, and I'm really pumped to be here, guys. I feel that if I come on this journey, I know I can help. I know I can. We all can. Absolutely.
I mean, I think that you'll definitely be of use. And Menfang's the coolest person on the ship. I must admit,
He really is.
I'm jealous of him quite a lot.
I don't know how he does half the things he does.
Also, I forgot this is an audio medium, but Banji is like, his leg is nervously twitching up and down.
I thought you were just doing it to try and knock on the microphone.
No, his leg is, because they're sitting down, I'm guessing, but his leg is like nervously twitching.
Dad just doesn't notice.
Yeah.
He just does not, like, he's almost hyped. You can see him shaking a little bit with excitement. You get the impression very much so that this is a young man who is looking to make not necessarily his name in the world, but he wants to be out here.
Well, don't you miss your home? How long have you been out here?
Oh, it's only been a couple of months. I'm not as bad as some of the people that have been who are older, who have been feeding us information. We're just happy to come out and do what we need to do.
I don't know. They think Nuro's trying to. It's weird, like a child trying to give an older person like a warning, but they don't really know how to do that. Like it might, like I think after their recent experience, they're seeing probably like a confidence and an innocence that they can't relate to anymore.
That's the exact
Yeah.
thing you'll get. This was probably you.
Yeah,
not that long ago.
That's what I'm thinking, and I think that just Nuro really finds it hard to respond to that. I think they go quite silent, like they're like, ooh, they've got something that I don't feel anymore. So I think they just kind of look really sad and confused up at Banji.
That bright-eyed optimism.
Yeah.
That we can change the world and everything will be okay and we will have no losses along the way.
Yeah. I think that they just kind of they start focusing on training with their toy instead of engaging in this conversation.
I think he sees that and is like, is that like a training tool?
Nuro pauses. It's kind of mid-air. It's like, yeah, well, originally it was a toy, and then Minh broke it twice. But then he made it real special. It's made out of rock. And you see, I can put water in here, and then I can make it move, and it's real hard, and I got to try real hard.
I think he sort of goes, can I give it a...
Well, please.
And he holds his hands out and tries to give it a motion, and you see it drop a little bit. He's like, whoa, this is so heavy.
Yeah, you see, where I'm from, the water is real... It ain't like your ocean water. It's heavy. You got to need real strength to move it.
Where are you from?
I'm from the Foggy Swamp.
Wait, what? I've heard about... What's a foggy swamp?
Well, it's my home.
And,
it's not anywhere near your home.
and they just have, like, heavy water there?
Yeah, you see, there's not a lot of movement in the water. It's stagnant, There's no big rivers, not much movement. So
where we're from, it's like, because of the ice, it's so pure and easy to move. So
you should have seen me when I first came out here. The water was like nothing. I just sent it everywhere. That did more harm than good, honestly.
I mean, have you tried refining it?
Well, Minh showed me a few things. He showed me a few waterbending movements from the Northern Water Tribe. It helped, I can, and I think Nuro wants to give a little demonstration of their hand movements and them trying to move the water really intricately with their hands. So it's like, I just figured that I should start real small, and it's getting easier. I don't have to think about it as much.
I mean, come with me. And he sort of gestures outside.
I think Nuro's like very giddily, just like brings the toy, just carrying it and follows them out. And giving just like the biggest grin to Banji over their shoulder as they go.
Banji, it sort of snaps out of a little bit of a funk and just gives you a thumbs up and a smile.
And he says, this is something that we do in the north, because you sound like you've got that heavier water that you deal with. We can kind of change the density a little bit by changing the purity. Here. And he reaches over the side of the ship and he pulls out a small ball of water. Mm-hmm. And he says, now what we do, and you see him begin to move it around in that real Tai Chi motion. Mm-hmm. And he says, once you've got it perfectly spherical, once it feels that motion, you can separate it. And you see him pull his arms across, and it's so smooth. The fact that he's leaning his body from side to side as he's talking about it and moving his hands, the hands separate in almost a grabbing motion, almost like you're kneading bread and just pulling it apart. And as he does, you see part of the water, one side looks clearer than the other. Mm. And he says, and once you've done that, and he pushes them back together and it freezes into a mound of ice. And he says, the impurities are on this side, but everything else is on this side, which means that you can create this perfect sphere. And he holds it up, and you can absolutely, except for the very base, which looks like there's a whole bunch of sediment down there, it is perfectly clear.
I think Nuro's just like mouth kind of gaping, watching the movements. Like the moment that they separate, they're like really trying to figure out how he did it.
He said, well, the most wonderful thing about this, as he changes it back to water again, he says, we actually learned this a lot when we were kids at school. We may or may not have done it to Minh FANG a couple of times. And he goes, here. And he goes to push you. And as you do, because you're mesmerized for a second, you go to move and you realize your feet are stuck to the ground. And he says, this is the first way we learn how to do this technique every time. You want me to teach you?
Please. Yes, anything. I'm ready to learn.
Let's roll learn a move.
Are you learning how to freeze water?
In this case, the move is called Quiet Grip of Ice. Use a bit of water on the ground to grab a foe's foot to create an icy hold. It creates impairment, advanced attack in the exchange. You get some extra kick-ins. But once you learn this move, you will be able to make ice on command.
Master it?
That's the one.
Yes, that's so cool. All right, I got to roll.
1 second, we got the pluses.
Mr. Goose Monkey.
The pluses and minuses, but I had the wrong page open, so I've got it now. Okay. All right. So, training move questions. Is your balance in line with your center currently? No.
Yes, it is.
It is.
Oh, sorry, you've shifted up.
That's the center is on +3, right?
That's right. Fair enough.
Yep,
I have
and that's where I'm
misinterpreted
at. Yep.
exactly how dire this is for you.
Oh, yes. Very dire.
Good news gives you +1. Do you and your teacher share at least one background? I think so. I think that you're both young and active waterbenders that are willing to learn and do what it takes.
Totally.
Your teacher absolutely agrees with your reasons for learning, and the technique is easy to grasp, so you get a +2.
Great. Okay. Please.
Oh.
That's a 5. So.
Okay. The good news is this is not an advanced technique. So you absolutely... I think that it's just a case of you can't quite get the bits separated the way that you need to.
Yeah, okay.
You're so used to moving everything all at once that this concept of separating them is really hard to grasp. It's the opposite of what you normally do.
And it's the separating which then allows the creation of the ice.
Yeah, you remove the impurities.
Too.
And in
Yeah.
doing so, you create what you need to do.
Yeah, okay.
So I think that you stay out on deck for a little while and you get a little bit of success, but you don't manage to do what you need.
Yeah.
And he sort of says, well, that's fine. Today's lesson's over, but we'll try it again another time.
I think Nuro's really frustrated. There is defeat in their eyes, a little clench in their hands, and you think that like a borderline tantrum is about to happen, but then they catch themselves. And
I think he puts his hand on your shoulder. Listen, that's what you got to fight. It's so easy to get frustrated, and when you do, it aggravates the things in the water, right? Like, you need to take that moment. If you take a moment before you do this, if you really empty your mind, you'll be able to do it no troubles. I know it.
Thank you, Daj. I'll keep practicing. I'll have it.
We'll try again tomorrow.
Okay.
I'd like to duck inside back to Banji, who is left alone with Arturo.
Yes.
What's going through Banji's mind right now, knowing that you're
2 days away?
very close?
Yeah. When Arturo was like, I got a vibe going this way, and Banji's like, hell
got
yeah.
a vibe.
Got a vibe. Banji was like, yep, let's do it. He was ready. As the times progressed, he's getting very worried and he's still sure that this is the right thing to do, but it's kind of like, I have to face my parents and people of the Fire Nation. And so it's starting to become like a really like, oh.
I think Arturo looks and he goes, I'm not an expert in humans as such, but you look tense.
That's one way of putting it, Arturo. That's, I'm a wee bit worried.
Go on.
Well, it's been so long since I've seen my mum and dad, and I mean, I don't know what I'm walking into, and I've certainly changed quite a bit. I mean, I turned my back on the Fire Nation. How are they going to react?
I mean, I guess that's the real question. How are you intending to approach the situation?
I don't know. I just want them to be safe, you know? I can't go back to the Fire Nation, even if I wanted to, which I don't, but I just want to make sure that they're safe and that everyone isn't suffering for the decisions that I made.
I mean, that's relatively noble of you. But you also gotta ask the question, is it realistic?
Well, given the Fire Nation, I don't know. No one that I know of has ever left the Fire Nation. We don't have deserters. Like, it's just not a thing. I might even be the first.
You're a dragon, ain't you?
I am.
Guess what? Dragons are pretty cool.
They are pretty cool. But also...
You're not very cool, and as a result, they clash? Is that what you were gonna say?
No, I was going to say the Fire Nation like to kill dragons.
Oh, yeah. That's relative news to me right now. I thought everyone thought dragons were really great, and...
I mean, they
oh
do.
boy.
They do, but
Why am I hanging out with you?
I had to ask
You
myself
got a
the same
target on
thing.
you.
I've always got a target on my back, Arturo.
This is nuts. Why am I here?
Because you're a really good wee bird.
You really had to fish for the worst compliment you could find, didn't you?
Look, I don't talk to many birds, so I'm not really sure what to say, to be honest. But I'm glad that you're here with me.
I think he sort of headbutts you in that bird fashion, and he goes, "Well, at least the target's on you." And he's like, you get the impression that he's smiling.
Nice.
Now, where's that breakfast? I'm starving. Which is a joke, of course. You know I don't like anything that you feed me.
Of course. It's spirit juice, am I right?
Well, those noodles was good, I suppose. All right, let's go get some spirit juice. Do you got spirit juice?
Sure. And Banji just like gets up and puts his arm out like a little perch for Arturo.
Yeah, he jumps on. He's like, but like in the same way that a cat can't quite find that perfect spot until it's done a few laps and really like, clawed the blanket. or the cushion or whatever it might be. He's not used to standing on someone's arm like this, so he's like, meh.
And it's the scarred arm as well. That's all like scarred and gross. So I don't know if he feels any spiritual energy from it or anything like that.
He bites your arm off. It's great. We move on. No,
That's the spirit.
that's the spirit juice. He sort of looks at you expecting, like, oh, this? Yeah, no, this ain't it. But that's okay.
That's cool. All right, let's go to the kitchen.
Minh, Fang, as the day's going on, you realize that no one's approached you. You haven't changed pages yet. You opened up the book and you're just staring at that very first page. You don't even think this is Koresh's handwriting. But you're also not really absorbing the words. And you realize that the sun has pretty much begun to set. It's now on its way back down again. And you're certain it was not that long ago you were just talking to Tomo.
Yeah, I think that sort of snaps him out of whatever it was, and he just sort of like snaps the book closed and like heads down to Hikaru to put it back in his mane. I think he gets down in there. He's like, "Hello, lizard."
Hikaru, like, stares at you with one big eye.
I'm just putting the book back. It's fine. And I go up to Hikaru and I start like I put it in his mane and I start tying it up. If he like lets me.
Yeah, he maneuvers the back of his head, so it's nice and easy.
Thank you, Hikaru. Do you know what's weird? And I know, like, it's weird. I don't know why I'm telling you this, but, like, I know that you're just, like, on the level. You don't like me, and I like that I know that you don't like me. Do you know what I mean?
He lets out, again, another really lazy stream of blue flame into the furnace.
You know, I was looking at that book all day, and, like, I couldn't even think of one thing to put in it. I don't even know what would fix anything right now. And that's just scary. You know? It's weird not knowing what to do. I don't know. And he sort of like picks up a bit of coal and just like chucks it in the furnace and just is watching the furnace. Just sort of like cross-armed and...
I think that as you go to do that, absent-mindedly, as you're playing around with probably another piece of coal, you begin to move your arm up to where you just put the book away. And you see Hikaru's tail just curls around your waist. Again, really lazily, and just gently pulls you away. And you realize where your hand was, like, because all of a sudden it's now reaching up into the air for nothing.
Thanks. It's weird, isn't it? Keep doing that. Keep doing that. Don't let us touch it, unless all of us are there.
And he uncurls his tail and gives you a quick whoop and nudges you out the door. I would like you to roll your own guide and comfort.
Yeah, I was thinking that this is like... So to clear trouble, do you have to seek guidance from a mentor or a powerful figure?
Yeah. In that case, I'm A-okay with
I think
that.
I want to clear trouble.
You just clear trouble then.
Yeah, because I just feel like this thing's powerful, this spirit, it wants to be used, but like Hikaru clearly does not fall under its influence. So I feel a bit better about the choices we've made to get the book to Hikaru.
Here's the deal right now. I, as Goose Monkey, am very, very happy that finally you're using the mechanics of the game as they're meant to be used. Hooray!
I use the mechanics very well, thank you. I just choose when to do them properly.
Getting rid of conditions has always been a falling point in this regard.
Great. I'm clearing troubled. I go and I think I'm gonna like try and hang out with the water tribe. But it's a bit too late, and I see everyone sort of like having their dinner and going to bed. I'm like, I'll try tomorrow.
You get pulled in for at least a conversation. I don't think you join in much, but you sit in the circle with the waterbenders as they're telling stories. And then telling stories of places you know and people that you may or may not have met. And as much as you're not engaged in the conversation in a verbal sense, you do get a small sense of community.
I think Tomo is gonna sit down with everybody and as they eat their meal, and the food is plain and simple, and I think it's rations, right? Like, we're traveling.
Actually, you're traveling relatively well. You stocked up pretty well at CD Merchant.
Okay.
Beer.
But Tomo is still going to be unimpressed, and I think Tomo's going to remember like there was a time where he would have cared more, but now he's just shoveling it in, watching everybody, and but he is going to reflect that he is starting to have doubt in his abilities, and he used to feel stronger, more capable, and especially like exerting himself so much the previous day with the double combustion bending.
I had a couple of flips and throwing.
Those are just warm-ups. That was just stretching. I think Tomo's going to find, going to look over to Nuro, like I'll sit next to Nuro. Nuro, I think there's something wrong with me. Spiritually.
Spiritually, huh?
Yeah. When we went in to get you, you didn't see this, but a spirit took something from me. I think it took my love of food, my appetite, something.
Huh. You have been eating less lately.
I
ain't
have.
been following your nose much either.
Honestly, everything just smells the same to me now.
How did he do it?
I don't know. He just jumped in, and when he went through me, he took some things with him.
He went through you?
He went through me, Arturo.
You see Arturo is trying to eat whatever's in your bowl because he knows you're a source of free food these days.
I just let him do this.
All right, let's see if he likes it. He doesn't spit it out, but he doesn't go back for more.
Stole
Okay.
another 7 from me, everybody.
It's the average roll, Jesse.
Yes, which is higher than my average.
Aim for mediocrity. One day you'll succeed.
I already do.
I think I would like to initially just do an assessment of Tomo to see if anything, stands out to me. So I'm just gonna roll for that.
Oh yeah.
Georgie's crushing it.
Yeah. So well, first I'm gonna ask, what should I be on the lookout for?
Yeah, okay. I think you take out your stick and you wave it around in
Like a metal detector.
and absolutely, like the reality is that 100% of his body like resonates with standard spirit energy that everyone has in them, and you get to pretty much his center, like right in the middle of him, and the stick just stops reacting. Like, there is absolutely no doubt he is right. There is something missing.
Yeah. All right. I think, Nuro's like, oh, I think you might be onto something, Tomo. And I would also like to ask, how can I bring about peace here? And up to you how you would like me to receive that information.
Yeah. That's a whopper of a question. Okay, here's what happens. So I think Dad looks over and goes, that's a weird stick thing is going on. And he looks at me and he's like, I'm not asking questions though. I'm not asking anything about it. And Banji, you pick up on that and you're like, Nuro doing something dumb in front of people again.
With the stick.
With the stick.
Banji slides his chair out and is like, oh, here we go. And then moves over to Tomo.
I look over to Dad and I'm like, you did the right thing by telling me.
And he puts his hands up and like pretends to move back again the same way that he did when you mentioned the book. And he's just like, and I'm not here. You walk over and you see that Nuro is thinking exceptionally hard about what is this? And Nuro, you're mumbling to yourself, missing spirit, part of you missing spirit. Oh.
I sort of look to Banji. I'm like,
guys, come on, no stick stuff in the cafeteria.
like if you're gonna do it, like
we put
do
that
it
sign up for a reason.
Right?
Guys, fellas, shh.
Minfang, you don't quite know what the question Nuro is trying to ask, but you're certain that your dad absolutely would know.
Nuro, what are you doing?
Tomo says there's something off. He's missing something in there. It might have something to do with his appetite. weakness.
Right. Like what?
There's a piece missing in him. I can't explain it.
Like,
A spirit piece, a piece of his spirit.
oh, spirit stuff. Right.
And
Spirit stuff.
it's
Sorry,
effect-
I thought that was obvious.
Yeah, he's got the stick. That's a spirit.
It's hard to tell sometimes. We've got to talk and puff and fly. There's a dragon. I
Look, it's impairing my ability to fight at my fullest. So it's something worth looking into.
yeah. I don't know. I came over and it sort of reminded me about like what my dad used to do. There was this one time in the north where like they had this like take your kid to work day. So I went with dad to do all the spiritual healing stuff, and he did like a lot of stick waving, and there was like
He had a stick too?
it was he flashes back in his brain to like a very nice carved, intricate water bending, beautiful stick.
Back to Nuro with this.
Twig. It's like sort of his was different, but like a lot of like water healing and like going over them and stuff.
There is nothing more Minh, Fang, and Nuro than Minh Fang describing something of immense beauty and then Nuro having the most natural version of that
Yeah.
thing.
But like, I don't know, like waving up and down around Tomo there. It's like what my dad used to do.
Oh,
Maybe-
maybe when we get a chance, we'll just ask him.
Yeah, well, he's like a spiritual, like, advisor and healer and stuff. Like, he's really with it. And he, like, quote quotes, with it spiritually. So, like, I don't know. Maybe it's worth talking to him if we ever get the chance.
Well, at some point we need to drop off our friends somewhere.
I suppose on the way back we could go north and you sort of see Minh go, yeah, I suppose you guys can like you guys can go up north and you can go to the north, I guess. And
Don't you want to see your dad?
yeah,
Don't you want to see your home? Don't you want to show us around?
Listen,
you wouldn't like it. You wouldn't like it though. You wouldn't like it. It's so cold. You guys wouldn't like it.
Minh Fang, if there's anyone who can understand how you feel about going home, I think it's me right now. And we can cross that bridge when we get to it.
Just saying it's an option.
I think if you allow me, Ash, I think while they're talking, Nuro goes back to the stick and that question that I asked, how can I bring peace here? I think all I'm getting is maybe just like flashes of the critter that like leapt through Tomo.
I think that is.
Yeah, so I'm
very
just seeing
much it.
like that image of it happening, but not.
You also see tiny Banji.
Yeah, I see tiny and like Nuro's just like close eyes, laughing to themselves.
I will veto that. You see the creature that has the thing, but it's current time rather
Yeah.
than previous
Oh,
time.
okay, cool. All right, so I'm just seeing this, and it was like a rabbit. All right.
It's like super big now because it's been eating. Because it's had Tomo's appetite.
Yeah, tell me how.
Jesse, what did I tell you about predicting the
Yeah,
future?
is it
Sorry.
okay? So it's huge now.
It's much bigger than
Okay,
it was.
I
But
think-
the thing about it is that you don't know that.
okay.
Because you don't know what it did look like. Right?
Yeah, I didn't know what it looked like. Okay, so yeah, Nuro, I think just like feels the vibrations of this thing bouncing, and it's just like, oh, that thing is terrifying. Tomo, I think we should go see Min's dad about this.
I mean, it was just a small spirit. Surely we can handle it.
Small?
Yes, it was less than my stomach. It leapt through my stomach.
Tomo, it's like twice the size of you.
All right, Nuro, I'll take your word for it. And look, we have something more urgent. Tomo glances over to Banji. We have something more urgent to attend to.
This ain't something I can fix with a stick.
But listen, thank you for looking into it.
We'll get you fixed up, Tomo. Don't you worry about
So
that.
wait, have you been like not eating deliberately, or are you
No, I mean, I don't feel hungry, so like I just get reminded to eat when I see you guys eat. So
You are looking rather trim at the moment.
I mean, I'm also liking this as well, actually.
Just a quick cash
I
flex.
am a big fan of Swomo over here, but eat that. Arturo, get away from there. Let him eat his food.
Yeah, I don't want it. And he just marches off. I don't want it anyway.
But look, now that I know what I can do if I'm fully at my strongest, then yeah, I'll be more motivated to.
What? One more bite there.
Oh,
A few days pass. To say they're uneventful isn't quite right. Everyone's feeling the tension, but they're trying to get about their days as best they can. And before too long, having seen no other islands as you're going past, it is honestly that remote. For anyone that has the avatar map in front of them, it is completely northwest. It is floating out in the middle of nowhere. It is part of the Fire Nation, but it is so far removed from anything around it, which is probably why it's developed this strange dialect, this weird naming convention, this odd penchant for strange firebending techniques. And Banji, you feel a pang, because for the first time in a really long time, you're going home.
Wow, Banji is beautiful.
Banji actually comes walking out of his quarters, and he's wearing the outfit that Boomy got him, but he has got an undershirt on with long sleeves that cover his scarred arm. He's also shaved really cleanly and done his hair like this is the most pristine that probably Nuro's ever seen.
Yeah,
Banji.
I think like Banji. This is Banji.
Banji looks very much like trimmed, clean, showered, like the most, I don't know how to, the fanciest you've ever seen him, I guess.
Damn, I didn't know the Fire Nation were all looking that clean under that armor.
Yeah, you don't smell like coal so much.
Yes, I'm going to see my parents and I need to look my best.
Also, you didn't tell me there was a volcano on your island.
That's
I would have
pretty
been
cool.
so much more excited to go if I knew about that. That's sick.
The other thing that you notice is that for a Fire Nation island, there's a lot of greenery that you can see. It's
Like tropical kind of lush.
no, more foresty kind of lush. Like, it looks like they're not pine trees, but they give you that impression. They're like the flora that you see is very different to what you normally see. But before too long, you are ready to dock. The waterbenders go down and they say, we're just going to stay down here. We're just back down here. That's where we're at.
Yes, please hide.
I think they've sort of they've ditched their traditional waterbending garb and they're just wearing work type suits. I don't know what type of jumpsuit equivalent would be in this world, but that'd be the jam. So, like things that are easy to work into, shovel coal or to clean decks or whatever.
All right, Banji, what's the play? Why are we here? Like, what's our story? Why are we here?
Well, I mean, we're here to see my family. I think that...
Sorry, I know why we're here. What's our cover story?
Well, you have phoned me when I was wounded and you're bringing me home.
Okay.
Banji, you are a deserter from the Fire Nation.
That's correct.
Do you think that if we were to tell them you were here, they would let you go to your mom and dad and let you live a peaceful life?
No.
So I don't think we should let them know you're here.
Okay.
I think that perhaps... Do you... What does your island produce? Maybe we can be merchants or traders of some kind coming to, import something.
I mean, they don't really have anything. It's really just the hot springs.
We're tourists.
We're here to see the hot springs.
We're tourists looking for the hot springs. Does that sound good to everybody?
Yeah, just don't mention where we're from the colonies, okay?
Yes, and these old bones need a soak.
Yes, Grandpa.
Yeah.
I
That
think
actually makes a lot of sense now that I think about it.
I think you put on the outfit even though before
Yeah, literally.
like you've already prepared.
So excited.
I think the wig and the mustache is like askew though.
Yeah. Let's go.
Tomo does the final adjustments,
Yeah.
and I think Tomo's gonna go, kind of resort Tomo, where a bit more casual, and nothing specifically overtly military. Or
Slow mo.
I think I give Banji a nudge and I'm like, I think he just likes putting on the costume.
Yeah, me too. I think he looks good in it.
I think we need a better one for you, though. I don't think a mustache is.
Oh, I
gonna-
meant Nuro. I see them like walking down.
I thought you meant Tomo.
Yeah, I meant Nuro. Oh.
I like that Minh is making no changes.
I'm still wearing my great firebender outfit. I look awesome.
Yeah. I like this.
I'm trying to think of a good disguise for Banji that's actually gonna be a reasonable cover for
Oh,
you.
yeah, he just chucks a rag over his head.
No, Banji like refuses it. He takes it off and he's like, no, I can't face my parents in a disguise. They need to
Okay.
know.
I mean,
Banji.
Banji, you
There is one, like, there's wanted posters for you, right?
yes.
I know.
And there's like a lot of space between you and your parents from here. We need some kind of disguise to get you there.
Interestingly enough, Banji, you can point to your house from here, up on the hill.
Raise the finger and point.
Oh, up
That's
on
where
the
we need to
hill?
go.
Okay.
All right. Well,
Then let's be quick, all right?
I think Tomo is going to attempt to let you guys go on ahead, and he's going to drop back quite a bit, just to try to spot if anyone's tailing the majority of the group.
Arturo jumps on Nuro's shoulder. Like, oh, I gotta come see this. And
Nuro just gives him a pat.
you see, as you're getting ready to leave, Hikaru pulls the lever and starts to move out of the ship.
And before like stepping off the gangplank, like Banji's kind of standing there shaking his hands, like trying to like psych himself to go, and is just waiting there like.
Nuro takes your hand and just kind of holds it very tightly.
Banji like takes solace in that, and then takes a step off the gangplank onto the
Yeah.
dock.
Yeah.
I think I see the hatch open. I'm like, don't you dare. Get back in there.
He starts to poke his head out.
No, this is not a safe place for you. Get back inside.
Can Tomo do an assess the situation?
Yes, Tomo absolutely can do and assess the situation.
I mean, we're walking into a trap, but let's see how tightly this trap is. Yep. All clear. Proceed. That's a
You're-
1 and a 2.
You're standing back, and all you see is a dragon's head like come out and sort of walk in front of you and begin
Min's just like pushing against him, but he's just like sliding.
just
out.
sliding backwards. And yes, Hikaru is just walking down.
Banji, get
The
him back
pier.
in. He's not going to listen to me.
Banji's just looking at the hill, and he's walking up.
I will use Tremble Before Me on Hikaru.
Okay.
He will always be afraid of you if you do that.
He will always mistrust Nuro.
I mean, go and do it, but like, be aware.
You cannot guide and comfort or plead with that NPC until you've earned their trust. So I just have to earn their trust back.
Okay.
So easy to do with a dragon.
Well, I mean, he's gonna go. Okay, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna mark my. It's just out of a panic. Like Nuro sees Min's panic. Banji's not doing
We're
anything.
literally in a Fire Nation island. He's just like,
Yeah. So I think like all of a sudden, like maybe Hikaru's kind of just back at Min and then looks forward, and then Nuro's just there on the plank, just like as like silent at first, and as like Nuro raises their hand to point back up the gangplank, the air around them just becomes really static.
I would like you to roll with passion, please, because this is also an intimidate. So I want to see.
Is it?
Like, so what you're doing works, but what you can't control with this is the reaction. So the intimidate's going to determine.
I mean, it's a 10 plus.
Oh, you just take 10 plus?
Intimidate, yeah. So you use your otherworldly aspect to intimidate an NPC as if you have rolled a 10 plus.
Perfect. That's exactly what I was thinking, but then forgot that that's how it works. So that's A-OK. Tell me, which one of these
Go, kitty.
can they not choose? Run on a skate to get back up, back down but keep watch. They give in with a few stipulations, or they attack you. Which one can't they do?
They...
Hopefully attack.
Well, look, here's the deal. Absolutely, I would bank on the if I were you, I'd bank that he's not going to attack you. No promises, though.
They can't run to escape or get back up.
Okay.
But I will guess they can't run to escape is what they can't do.
You don't want him to run away. You just want him to get back.
Yeah, I want him to get back in the boat.
Which is, I'm really glad you picked that, because 100% he was just going to take off and be like, fine.
Yes.
No, so instead what he does is like his eyes widen.
Yeah.
Like you've seen right up close.
Yeah.
This massive eye.
I imagine us like face to face, kind of like.
And the pupils dilate so big, like they just are big pools of black directly in front of you. You're almost scared at this point. You are almost convinced he's about to snap at you, and he begins to move back. And then, as I think Minh, Fang, you go to flick the lever to put the plank back up again.
The spear.
Put the spear back up. He bats it with his paw and he pulls it back down again.
Fine, you can watch, but stay in the dark. We can't risk anybody seeing you, Hikaru. They will try to kill you. Okay?
He shoots a very, very small burst of flame directly around, like...
Oh, I duck.
Yeah.
I'm like, listen, all right, when we found you, you were injured because you were attacked by Fire Nation. This is the same people. So please, it's for your own safety.
While the three of you are currently trying to deal with Hikaru, Banji, you've walked to the end of the pier. The start of the pier, more specifically.
Yeah.
The others have all, stayed back to try and make sure Hikaru's not moving. And you step foot on solid land. Solid homeland.
Mm.
And no sooner have you done that, as you look around and you see the fishmongers selling their wares and the kids burning fish over a fire pit as they sort of cook whatever they've caught down by the beach. You hear a voice say, oh, "Is that Banji?" And you turn around to see a girl you went to school with named Dicella.
Dicella. Yes, it's me. It's me. I'm so glad to see that you're all okay.
Oh my God, you look great. You look phenomenal.
Thank you.
Has the military been treating you well?
Let's say yes.
I am so glad to see that you're doing well. I mean, we've heard that it's not always great on the front lines, but look at you go.
Well, Dicella, I'd love to stay and chat, but I really need to go see my mum and dad. Are they home, do you know?
Oh, they are going to be so excited. They have no idea. Did they know you were, they've been talking about missing you for so long.
No, this is a surprise visit. So, if you could keep it on the down low, I'd appreciate it.
She runs up and gives you a big hug. She's like, oh, it's so good to have you back again.
Oh, it's good to see you.
I think it's about this time everyone turns around and they see Banji is hugging a strange girl.
I elbow Tomo and I'm like, damn, he's fast. I get it. He's attractive, but like he got game.
She, I think at this point, while this is happening, she absolutely takes you by the hand. She's like, come on, let's go. And starts to lead you up
Banji! Banji! You said you would take me to the hot spring!
Yeah, sorry, Dicella, I need to... I've got... on my way back, I picked up some tourists, and they need to go to the hot springs. They've got an old man who needs to soak his bones.
I've got arthritis!
Okay, well, you go see your parents, and I'll take them to the hot springs. It's the least I could do for you. And she smiles at you.
That would be fandabidozy. Thanks, Dicella.
She laughs and chuckles and says, amazing. And
I give her a wink and one of the little, like, spark wings.
anyone, you don't need to roll assessed situation to see a mild swoon occur. And Banji, you start walking up the hill as she turns around. She goes, anyone who is a friend of Banji's is a friend of mine. You all actually look like the most wonderful people. Hi, my name is Dicella.
Why don't you sound like him?
Oh, that's why would I sound like a McBlaze? I mean, there's a couple of them, not McBlazes, but there's a couple on the island. But everyone's a little bit different here.
Yeah, I gathered that.
Well met. We would hang on. How Tomo do this on the sly?
Explodes her.
No witnesses.
But on the sly.
On the sly. Sorry, I didn't think this through. I got sidetracked by that.
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
He puts an arm around her, just turns around and goes, pop. Turns back, there's no more.
We have never been to this wonderful place before.
I know, we're so remote out here. That's what makes it so wonderful.
I've not seen a single soldier around. Is that true?
You definitely haven't seen any soldiers around down here.
What? Who keeps you safe?
Out here? Why would anyone mess with our island? Like, what? We've got such little to do with anything.
So there's no army here at all?
I mean, there's the training academy where they teach some of the younger kids, but no, not really anything.
Oh, and where does she point when?
She just sort of vaguely gestures.
Oh, okay. All right. Okay. Thank you. So, hot spring, Grandpa?
Hot springs! I demand hot springs!
She goes, okay, so come this way. And she starts to tell you a little bit about the story of this place. And she says, so it was founded so long ago. And we find that because of the hot springs, there are a lot of families that they do come and they do go. Now, the McBlazes have been here for a really long time. But there are other families that just come along for those hot springs and really like the isolation of the place. But we also get a lot of families that come and settle further away. And we have the military. And she continues to tell you this story. And you realize that she is leading you up the hill, but on a different path to where Banji is walking and well ahead of you all.
Yeah.
I want to try and do like some sort of roll to just be like, and like slowly just let her go on.
I would really love to join you in that as
We're
well.
all trying to do this.
I thought you wanted to go to hot springs.
No, not if
story.
Banji is breaking
Yeah.
off from us.
Yeah.
Absolutely
Let's,
not.
no, I think Minh Fang gets to roll the trick first.
Goodness.
Here you go, Mr. Rolly McGee.
Just pretend it's combat. You're fighting the urge to go to the hot springs.
Yeah, true. Although I got +2 creativity. Let's find out. Oh, that's the highest roll I've ever done. That's a lie. It's a 5 and a 6 +2. So wow, I'm in Tomo territory. 13. That's exciting. Trick.
So happy for you.
territory.
I picked 2. Great. They overcommit. They're so engrossed in the idea of playing tour guide that they barely even notice me leave. And they act foolishly. The GM tells you what additional opportunity they give me.
As she continues to talk, I think she looks over at you, Minh, for the sort of first real time. Like, she's said hello, but as she's talking and as you're feigning interest, she gives you a sort of second glance and then a third. And then you realize that she is talking directly to you and nobody else. And you realize that maybe you're a little bit cute as far as she's concerned.
Right. It's hard because Min's like feigning interest and he's kind of shocked, to be honest, that this nice lady is immediately like helping them, because so far every place they've been to in the Fire Nation has been not what he expected. Like the resort town, the Dragon Island, and here, he's like, he's really struggling. It's like so cognitive dissonance. He's like, these are the enemy, they're all monsters, and he's like, normal people running a hot spring town, this nice lady is showing me around. He's really like shocked and stunned. So I think in that he's still in his brain, he's like, yeah, she's the enemy. So he's gonna, I'm actually gonna pivot on that. And now that he's like figured out she's gained some interest in him, he's going to continue to distract her so the other two can leave.
Okay.
So yeah.
Yeah.
So they overcommit. So he's like he's like, yep, cool, show me about these hot springs. And when it's, and yeah, that additional opportunity is that's I think what I'm going to take. So I know she's so engrossed in me at this point that the other two can actually go and she won't even notice.
I like that a lot. You two pick this up immediately, and I think you share a conspiratorial look together, and then just we like the camera looks at the two of you, nod. It goes back to Dicella and Minh. It goes back to where you were, and there's just
a beard that Nuro's head like grabs. Yeah.
A puff of dust and a beard floating, and then it goes back to, and she is none the wiser. And are you walking or running to Banji?
I think. Do we want to try and find like a vantage point like we normally do?
Okay.
I think, and get onto the roofs together. I think it's almost natural at that point. Nuro just hops on and.
I've taught you so well.
Yeah.
Tomo is so proud.
And I think that we're moving as quickly as we can to catch up with Banji.
You do the old 1-2 alley-oop, and before too long, you're on the roofs, and you realise that it's not super dense. So I think that, it doesn't take you long to realise that this isn't necessarily the method of travel, but you can definitely find a place that you can see what's going on.
Okay.
The one thing you don't know is where Banji's going to stop.
Yeah. He pointed up there. It was about halfway up the hill.
Sorry, keep your eyes on him and let's keep moving.
Yeah.
Banji,
Field.
you walk almost like a man in a trance. Every foot in front of the other, because you're certain if you changed your rhythm, you wouldn't keep walking. And in what feels like both an eternity and no time at all, you are standing directly out the front of the gate that is your family home. And your mother is currently digging in the garden, planting some vegetable that was always your favourite whenever she grew it.
Banji opens the gate and walks through, and then sort of like stands behind his mum and does the deepest bow in existence, like in full 90 degrees, like even maybe like 95 degrees down.
95 degrees. You could smell the freshly tilled earth.
Yeah. And Mum, hello, I'm home, please. I'm just glad to see you're safe. I'm sorry. It just like blurts out, and is like probably crying a bit as well.
Your mother straightens her back and stands up and dusts herself off and turns around, and you can't see, all you can see is her feet as they're angled towards you. You wee scragamuffin, where's my hog? And as you sort of look up, she gives you a big old embrace. And she says, "Da, Pa! Coming out, Banji's home!"
The Book of War is Lucas Lee as Tomo, Georgie Hazel as Nuro, Ted Darling as Banji, myself Jesse Thomas as Minh, and Ash Cooper as our Game Master. Our theme song and outro, The Book of War, remains, as well as our new Caledon theme, hint hint, you haven't heard all of it yet, are by Matt Harrison, our wonderful music producer, and additional sound effects and music are from zapsplat.com. You can find us on Facebook and Instagram just by searching The Book of War podcast, or you can go check us out on our website at www.thebookofwarpodcast.com. Guess what? We have a Patreon. You know we do. I know you know we do. And just for $5 a month, you can get access to our pilot series, our Halloween special, our Christmas special, some of our prequel audiobooks for our characters, and much more, as well as access to our Discord, where you can come and chat to us and chat with other fans of the show and just talk about these crazy teens we all love so much. The next episode will be out on June 29th, so we will see you then. And finish your vegetables. Or no dessert.
I'm gonna cut it before that. Like that. Well, that is funny. I think that one more bite. Is a perfect place to segue on.
That's fine. It goes in the outtakes.
Did you say the outcakes?
Outcakes.
That is the dessert we all want.
I'll put it at the end of the episode.
Hey.